A special thanks to all those in collaboration with KPP and Art, World Outreach, and individuals within this ministry for your selfless and heroic efforts in this war against depression. As my goal has, is, and will always be to eliminate suicide. I just finished talking to my mother. We were talking about the past, reminiscing on some things that happened. The years that I spent under her care, occasions that it really brought joy to our conversation. And she's at a place, and I think all parents get there, to where they're like, what did I do as a mother where I might have made a mistake? I might have done something wrong. I might have taken the wrong approach. I understood that at a very young age, surprisingly, we make our own decisions. When I was in elementary school, I knew, because I used to tell myself all the time, every time I get in trouble, you idiot. You knew that this was going to lead you here in the principal office, yet you done it. I used to have that sort of dialogue in my mind every single time I get into some trouble. But you'll be surprised how many people grow up, they weren't in their right frame of mind. Like I tell her, the whole point of me coming out and saying all that is because when she was talking about how she could have done this or that better, it's like, well, you did what you should have done as a mother. All mothers should feel like that. You did what you should have done. You shouldn't even have no regrets. When it comes to me, of course, I know better. And it's because you taught me better. It's not because I wasn't taught. I can't use that excuse. But the choice that we make are the choices that impact us, the way they choose to react. You're not responsible for their attitude, for their anger. Saying I'm not responsible for that is letting go of the pain, the sorrow, the disappointment, these non-nourishing feelings. This really had got me, because I was thinking about this, and I think all parents should have that talk with their child. I'm here to be your parent, your guardian. The moment they lose that respect for you as their guardian or their parent, you may have lost them forever. I'm looking forward to this year because I've been writing out a lot of things. I've been actually adding to my a journal I've been keeping. There's probably going to be a lot more streams than normal because I'm currently quarantined. My cousin was laughing at this earlier. She says, I don't know how you're going to make it 14 days. But I am going to try. Oh, my cigarette went out. I've always said that I wanted to start a gaming channel. Having concocted enough information and resources and knowledge about how to do it, I've just recently decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and start one. After starting this, what I heard someone say once before, knowledge is the new currency. Anyway, let's take a look at some illustrations here. A lot of them do not speak of depression. Great memories, beautiful memories. They were very wonderful stories. Some of them stories of love, betrayal. One of my favorite pieces here, which is, I call this one Shattered. At the time, this was my former boss. She stood up to speak and she gave us her thoughts. Our history is like someone taking a baseball bat and shattering everything you believed as a child. And after she said that, I sat back in my seat and looked at her. I could actually draw this. So I went home and drew it. And the one thing I like about this one that I think a lot of people missed was the horns and the pitchfork, giving indications that these characters, they were very sinister in nature. And that was one illustration I treasured. I love this. I still wish I had kept that and hung it up on the wall, but I thought that it was her idea that she brought to life, and she deserved to see that idea on paper. All right, our next piece is the image of Christ and myself, and we're looking up towards the heavens. This basically symbolized Christ giving his life for salvation, freed us from bondage. And then there's me who has given my life to this work, to this great ministry. I know people who spent half a century, and they're so detailed when they're explaining this. And you can tell that the love, the inspiration is there, the fire, and it never burns out. It's something that continues to go on. Making those leaps of faith. You broadcast this in a different light. Express yourself in your field of choice. Now, our next one, obviously, it's going off the same, well, similar to the last illustration of Christ and myself and the sacrifice. It's kind of self-explanatory. I think it's kind of simple. When you're acting towards your goals and your dreams, we often have to leap and build our wings on the way down. Despite the odds being stacked against you, this one here basically symbolized not only my struggles, but it symbolized the reason I'm so passionate, I'm so avid about raising suicide awareness. Joining something that it speaks more than I could ever explain or express verbally. It's a lot easier for me. Now, this one here is the misery loves company. The most threatening voices that we deal with are the voices within ourselves. This illustration takes me back. Warn that little version of myself of basically just everything that I've struggled with, I dealt with, I held on to. Outcast society. Depression can weigh you down. It robs you of time that could be spent understanding just where you fit in all of this. These were kids that they weren't popular. These are the ones that have been shunned and pushed aside. I'm their voice. I'm their face. To give them hope, encouragement. This one here, I've been a collector of crosses since my first cross, which was tattooed on my arm after coming back from an overseas deployment, going on 11 years now. I know we got a lot of atheists here, which is why I don't like to really talk about a lot of this stuff, because a lot of people will not be able to relate or understand. And you will start to see this once you go on your own journey. You'll start to see this word hope and faith a lot. And so therefore, what better tattoo to put on my arm than something that symbolizes hope and faith? The start of my collection, and I've been collecting them ever since. Now, it's hard to find one that's different from the others at this point. doing this as long as I've been doing it, it's therapeutic. What good is a life if you're not using your craft as your voice, making an impact and changing the world?